And the new project car is the Mazda 3 hatchback. I'll go to this side actually. But yeah, here's a good look at it. So I've been in a Mazda 2 before, the hatchback one. And this Mazda 3, it feels a whole lot bigger than the 2. It's a pretty nice car. I'll show you the inside, pop the hood, show you the trunk. So when I brought the car home, I didn't even notice this when I bought it, but you can see a dent there. And hopefully you can tell all these little dents along the, whatever this pillar is called. So it looks like someone was trying to break in or locked their keys in, trying to just break in. And this metal must be just super soft. Because I've seen other Mazda 3s with marks like this from people trying to break in. But, I mean, obviously the person wasn't successful. And they just kept going down the line, and yeah, that's pretty bad. Not gonna lie, that's pretty bad. So there's little dents, like, I mean, that one looks pretty big, especially in the camera, but there's stuff like that all around the car. It's not perfect, but the paint is in good condition, other than the little dents. So really, like, if I wanted to fix this and paint it, just sand it down, body fill, and it'd be good. So I'm not really worried about body damage. That's never really been a concern of mine. I care more about the engine stuff. But this car has a pretty nice interior, so let's look at that. So it is the 5-speed manual stick shift. Of course I had to get a stick shift. I can't go back to automatic for a project car. It has black leather interior. My camera is not liking this glare, but the interior is super nice. No rips anywhere. Only damage in the interior is this little handle thing where it's supposed to bolt up. That's broke, but that's an easy fix. Let's go into the passenger side. It's perfect on here. You can get a better look at the center console and all that. Yeah, interior is pretty perfect on this car. And the AC works. I haven't had a project car that had working AC at all. Here's a shot of the engine bay. And it has the cover on it still. That's pretty nice. Everything looks pretty stock. Coolant's not the AutoZone green color, so there's hope that it hasn't been mixed poorly with something else that it shouldn't have been. The belt has a little wear, but I mean, I've seen worse. It's pretty good. Yeah, but everything in the engine bay looks really nice. Let's look in the trunk, and then you'll see why this is a project car and why I got it for so cheap and decided to pick it up. In the trunk, this is what the car came with. Came with a quart of oil. I already pretty much put it all in because it was about a quart low. So, over here you see a clutch. Yep, this car needs a clutch. The clutch is actually fine, it's a throwout bearing, but since you're gonna do throwout bearing, might as well just do the clutch. Yeah, the car came with all this stuff. It's awesome. It's OEM quality stuff. It's not like cheap stuff. But yeah, so that makes my job easy. All I have to do is actually do the labor to fix it. Let me show you the clutch pedal. Let's watch what happens when I press down this pedal with my hand. Yeah, it's stuck down. You have to bring it back up. So when I got the car was drivable. When you put the clutch in, it'd make this terrible noise. The throwout bearing just whines so bad. And one day, I got it home, put it on my driveway. I wanted to just drive it around the neighborhood just one last time. And then when I put the clutch in, it wouldn't go into gear. So it wasn't fully disengaging when you were putting the clutch down. And you couldn't get in gear, and then all of a sudden you hear this loud like bang, and I'm pretty sure the throwout bearing just literally exploded. So there's probably no throwout bearing left. I'm really anxious to see what it looks like when I take it all apart. But yeah, that's what's going on with this car. And it was leaking a bunch of clutch fluid after that. So I think maybe the slave cylinder gave out after. It's not leaking on the inside, and it seems to be where the slave cylinder is. So when I have the car up in the air, I can look under it and see if fluid's actually coming out of the slave cylinder. But I think what happened was the throwout bearing gave out, and so where the slave cylinder pushes against the clutch fork, it overextended because it didn't have any pressure against it. So the slave cylinder probably just popped that piston inside of it out, and so gonna need a whole new slave cylinder if that's the case. But with already including a clutch kit for this car, I don't think that's a bad deal at all. And I was able to negotiate the price lower than what he originally wanted to, so I'm liking where I stand for this car. I did get to drive this car and test drive it. It's kind of weird because the pedals are so close together. It's really tight compared to like the American cars that I'm used to driving. But goes into gear fine, no transmission issues, all that's good. There was this ugly leather cover over here that I took off, and it's much better now. But yeah, everything seems to be good. I'm not positive, but I'm pretty sure this is the brake master cylinder. Like, actually, I know that's the brake master cylinder. But the clutch master cylinder, I think, is either buried down there, or I think it's only on the inside. So I can't really even tell where it is. This car does have a lot of spiders. Doubt you'll be able to see the spider webs, but I did take a hose and just try to flush out all the spiders and webs, but they came back. So that's gonna be fun, getting under a car with spiders. So one last thing before I end this video. If you're looking to get a project car and you wanna negotiate with that price and try to get the best deal possible, you have to look for things that you can use to your advantage. So what I did with this car, I looked at the tires, and normally you look for thread, or the tread, and obviously if there's no tread, it needs new tires. All these tires, the tread is decent, but the real kicker is right here. You can see all tires have a label like this. This tire was made the 39th week of 2013. 2020 now, so this tire needs to be replaced. The tire back here is basically bald, and it's from 2011, so it needs all 4 tires. It has an oil leak. I can't show you because I can't get under the car right now, but the oil's leaking out of the oil filter, so it needs a whole new oil filter, or they double gassed it, something like that. There's little dents all around the car, and then obviously with the whole clutch system not working, that's what I use to take advantage of trying to get the best deal possible. The person selling the car knows that you're gonna have to pay to get this stuff fixed. Sure, they put the price as a factor of what it would cost to get it fixed, but if you find stuff that they didn't originally list, you can use that to your advantage, like I was able to do with this car. So this is my Mazda 3 hatchback with the sunroof that actually works. Everything works in this car, even the AC. Even the trunk struts, which I have not had that either. Yep. This car has 160 something thousand miles on it, and the engine sounds good. I can't start it up because I'm afraid it's stuck in gear and it's just gonna roll forward. Well, the CD player does that, but that's no big deal. I can fix that. It stops after a while, but 161,000 miles. And it's still going strong. No engine codes, passes smog through the OBD2 tests, and everything seems to be working good on this car. There, it stopped. Yeah, let me know what you think about this Mazda 3 hatchback, and in the next video you'll see me putting it up in the air, pulling the transmission out, and putting a new clutch in it. Also, do you see that? Full tank of gas. Can't get a better deal than that.